Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike back here with you once again. Welcome back to Big Mike Talks, where today I'm going to be talking about the rest of the week that was in pro wrestling. Now, sadly, that is only a small portion of SmackDown, as I ended up becoming very, very ill that night, and I couldn't cover it. And I did watch Collision. I didn't end up taking notes because I was still feeling very awful. Which is why I delayed my video from yesterday to today, so I can be 100%. Now that I'm not exactly 100%, but I'm better, so I'm going to cover the portion of SmackDown that I saw, in which I did miss a lot, which I do apologize for that, but it could not be helped. So we are going to start off with SmackDown with the announcement Kevin Owens had from last week, and then Randy Orton's response, including the RKO to Nick Aldis. So we then start with a Nick Aldis promo, in which, alright, GM promo, that's going to be weird. So he says, last week we witnessed many great moments. I'm here to address one of them. You know exactly which one. So I'm going to try to instruct. I've been instructed by the higher-ups to maintain my professionalism as I invite Randy Orton out. So Randy Orton comes out, and you can honestly clearly see Nick Aldis ready to throw hands. Like, he's more relaxed, more, I don't want to say demure, but he's chilling. Now he's kind of like fighting stance, ready to go. So Orton gets on the microphone and says, I can tell you it took last week very personally. I didn't see yourself eating an RKO. I paid the fine. I paid it all in advance. I think we're even. So that kind of takes that off the table. I hope not. So he continues, the reason I wanted to come out here and talk is that for right now, I do not have a WrestleMania match. And it would have been the 20th time I would have competed at WrestleMania, in which that is impressive. So he turns to Aldis, says, you need to go out there and find me an opponent. You think this is about the money? I busted my ass to get back here, and I need your respect. You earned that a long time ago. Don't promise I won't go after Mickie James if I don't get my match. Jesus Christ. There, Randy. But before it can go too far, out comes Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa. WWE, please don't. Please. Anyone but Solo. So Solo gets on the mic, says, tell Randy to get out of this ring. It's over for you, Randy. Next week, the night is looking the same, and Jacob will walk out as the new United States champion. Orton responds, it's funny you have the balls to interrupt me. The voices have been knocking again for a few weeks. How about we settle this and I beat you two Samoan boys tonight? So Tama Tonga and Solo surround the ring. Randy Orton goes for the draping DDT that gets countered out by Solo. Numbers catch up to Randy Orton, but out comes the current United States champion LA Knight. All four of them brawl. Orton and Knight toss the former Bloodline out of the ring. LA Knight gets a mic. Says again and again, it's the same thing with you boys. I hope you boys like watching. Your boy Jacob is watching and know what you got now wasn't enough. So a little later on, it's going to be the two of you versus the two of us. So, yeah, that match goes on later. I did not get to see it. I do apologize for that. But I did get to see this little ditty, because it is our first matchup, and it is a number one contenders gauntlet match to see who faces Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan for the tag team titles at WrestleMania. So we have Raquel and Liv. They're on commentary. First team out, it's a Franken team. It's Women's Intercontinental Champion Lyra Valkyria and Bayley. And their opponents, a team we haven't seen in months, the Pure Fusion Collective. That's Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. No, what's her name? Sonya Deville, because she got released. So, yeah, they have a nice little back and forth for a while. Baszler locks in the armbar on Lyra, but Lyra kind of matrix out of it. Shayna goes for her middle rope stomp on Bayley. That misses. Lyra with the roll up for the victory. Victory number 1. Team number 3 coming in. Another Franken team just made this week on Raw. It's Natalya and Maxine Dupri. And I am not going to take anything away from this match, because Maxine has worked her butt off in this match. She looked absolutely great. Hit a great crossbody. But again, she tried the sharpshooter to finish, which I would have liked to see her get it in. But Bayley with the roll-up for the win for her team. Next team in for the gauntlet, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, who have had their title shots, but again hasn't been on TV, although they were just on against Chelsea Green's crew. And they do their usual high-flying stuff, which is nice. But eventually Lyra hits the Nightwing to pick up the win for her team. Next team out, Franken team, Michin and B-Fab. And Michin tries a couple times for a roll-up. That only gets a 2 count. Bayley attempts a body slam, but that gets blocked into another, only for a 2. Lyra gets the tag in, hits a nasty looking DDT. That brings in B-Fab. Michin then traps her in the tarantula, and then B-Fab kicks her right in the stomach. B-Fab with a Falcon Arrow, only for a 2 count. Bayley catches a kick attempt, hits the Rose Plant, a bit of an awkward Rose Plant, to pick up the win. And the final team in, the Secret Hervis, aka Piper Niven and Alba Fire. A recently put together team, but it's actually a real team. And they go out to have a really decent matchup, with Piper trying to overpower her opponents, but both Lyra and Bayley outspeeding her. Alba Fire eventually does get in and gets some offense in, but eventually Bayley hits a Rose Plant while Lyra hits a top rope leg drop, which is crazy, to pick up the win and qualify for WrestleMania. I get it. You gotta have Liv, you gotta have Bayley for WrestleMania. I get it. They're two of the best you got. This is not the way to do that. To smush them together, into some makeshift tag teams to do so. And look, I get it. Liv and Raquel, they've been a team off and on for a while. But Bayley and Lyra aren't a team. I'd maybe rather see Lyra and Bayley go one-on-one. Even if there's no, real story to it, at least give us something for the Women's Intercontinental Championship for WrestleMania. Even if it's just on the pre-show, which I've seen the times for the shows this weekend. It's going to be a 3-hour pre-show. What are you going to talk about? Have some matches on it. I don't care. Anyway, post-match, Liv and Raquel stand in the ring across from their opponents. They hold their belts up, and they have a stare down. I don't know. I don't love this. This just feels very thrown together, uninteresting, and I don't know. I feel like something's missing. And I don't even mean the Wyatt Six. You got a pretty strong women's tag division. Use them. Anyway, then we see footage of... Not even backstage footage. It's cell phone footage from a parking lot of Tiffany Stratton beating up on Charlotte Flair in a parking lot. I don't even know if it's arena parking lot, but it was some... It looked like the parking lot of a shopping mall. Either way, I'm going to say this. This feud is definitely picking up a bit. It started out a little bit weird, but now I wouldn't say I'm all in, but I'm interested. And then we get the made official graphic, graphic for Damian Priest. Actually, first we get footage from the video footage from Priest and McIntyre's fight from a few weeks ago, where Priest chokeslammed Drew on the hood of a car. And then we get the match graphic. We're going to see Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania in a Sin City street fight. Now I know this match probably doesn't mean anything, but I think this was a how do I say this? A well thought out mid-card level feud away from the titles. I do think we'll see both these guys get title matches later on in the year. So why not have some non-title matches for them? And then for whatever reason, I guess I kind of missed it because I was starting to go into a haze about now. But they showed WrestleMania 8's match between The Rock and Hulk Hogan. And like WrestleMania 8, WrestleMania 28, I want to say. In which that was weird. I don't understand the presence there. Anyway, after that, we get Damian Priest. He's getting ready to cut a promo. Or maybe have a match because he's in his gear. But before he can get to the ring, Drew McIntyre just jumps him on the ramp. Tosses him into the LED board. And they just start fighting. Officials then come out. Break it up. Priest is helped to the back. And Drew gets the microphone. So this is Drew McIntyre time. He then says, kind of to Priest, kind of to everyone else, "You're starting to see clearly now, aren't you? It took a few people to catch up, but every action is justified, including dropping his stupid ass. I never faced a man like Priest. You challenged me to a Sin City street fight. This match is a year in the making, and you're going to get a beating of a lifetime. And I've got some good news. So at this point, he's still rocking the eye patch from the glass in his eye from the car. He then takes it off, throws it into the corner, says, I'm 100% cleared. Priest, you're 100% screwed. So as he says that, and as Drew is getting out of the ring, Priest bolts past officials and just starts brawling with Drew all over again. Clotheslines, gets back into the ring, clotheslines him over the top rope, chucks him into the steps. Officials then stop Priest, which gets Drew long enough to hit an eye rake, pick up the steel steps, and hit Drew with it. And then hit a future shock DDT onto the steps, in which we see Drew Damien with the goofiest look on his face. He's doing a little bit of overselling, but I don't mind it, because it definitely adds to the danger of the match that's coming up. So, I'm going to say this. I'm looking forward to this matchup a lot more and more. These guys are definitely professionals. Hopefully we get to see Drew get back to the world title picture. So then we get something interesting. Something I do really like. We've got DIY, so that's Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. They're watching back footage from their title loss. They're like, oh, right there, you see that? You see that? We got cheated. So then camera pans back, see Pretty Deadly standing there with the smuggest look on their face. He says, yeah, we're nobody's puppet anymore. And do you two listen to yourselves? You're absolutely out of your mind. Then Ciampa's like, use your eyes, pointing to the screen. So Pretty Deadly walk off. The Motor City Machine Guns then walk in which I still can't believe they're in WWE right now. Like, that's crazy. I think it's Sabin that takes the lead, says, you guys are ridiculous. While you're focusing on this, we're going to focus on the Street Profits for our title shot next week. And it's not just a conspiracy, which is Ciampa. We then get a nice little Rey Fenix vignette, which is very, very nice. Then I almost missed this. It's a Triple H Hall of Fame highlights from the King of the Ring 1997, where he was the Blue Blood, which very early gimmick for him. Which, honestly, very, very cool. It's his match with Mick Foley, I think? Yeah, Dude Love. So then we get this very surprise match of the evening, as it's Berto taking on Rey Fenix. Very interesting to see Rey Fenix not on the same brand as Penta, but I am more than sure we're going to get the Lucha Brothers back together in no time. And they just take the brakes off and immediately go. This was as close to true, pure Lucha Libre from WWE I think I've ever seen. And it was a thing of beauty from both men. At one point, Berto attempts a moonsault. Rey Fenix gets his knees up, hits a couple of kicks, gets him in the corner, hits the Muscle Buster, which is a very interesting finisher for Rey Fenix, to pick up the win. And then post-match, you see Santos Escobar and Angel Garza come out, the rest of Legado del Fantasma. They collect Berto, and then Santos raises Rey Fenix's hand in victory. Then you see Berto and Rey Fenix shake hands as they walk off. So I don't know if Santos is trying to recruit Rey Fenix, but I guess we shall see. So next up, it's backstage. I think we're trying to get an update on Charlotte Flair, but instead it's an interview with Roxanne Perez, who we haven't seen since the Royal Rumble. And she says, on NXT, I took matters into my own hands. I'll gladly take the title match at WrestleMania. Tiffany Stratton then walks in and says, really? You come here to SmackDown begging for a title match? Well, I'll give you that spotlight tonight, and I'll let you think about what you've done. So now go cool off. Again, I didn't get to see this match because I got very violently ill, so I do apologize for that. We then get a little history video between CM Punk and Paul Heyman showing how they're good friends, which is honestly kind of awesome. I liked this. Taking a look back into the past is always awesome. You see Punk with the Paul Heyman guy's shirt on. You see a little bit of the mic drop, pipe bomb promo. And just all their history. I honestly forget how close these guys were. Like, these guys were great together. Even though Punk didn't really need Paul Heyman and Punk were like a match made in heaven. And I don't know. I feel like if they stayed together, maybe Punk would have stayed. Who knows? So then we go backstage. We see Chelsea Green right outside the medical office. Not medical office, but you know, the on-the-site doctor. She's like, hey guys, come on, I need you guys tonight. And then Selena Vega comes in. Says, well, it looks like you gotta do this all on your own. Let's see what kind of champion you are. And just at the entrance, I got very, very ill. And I did not get to see the match. So I do apologize for that. I missed a lot, though. Like, I was hoping I wouldn't, but I end up doing so. I do apologize. I did end up getting this, which is more than I thought I would. So, you gotta work with me a little bit on this one. I do apologize. I did get you some. So, hopefully you're happy with a little bit of that. So, yeah, that'll do it for me. Tomorrow, I'd say about the same time in the afternoon, I'm going to give you my predictions for WrestleMania 41 both nights. And I got a pretty fun idea for Randy Orton's opponent. So, hopefully you stick around for that. And until next time, happy wrestling, everybody. Peace.